Have you witnessed too many words and not enough words? Have you witnessed sensitivity to vibration? A lot's been going on here today, and you've got to see and feel a lot of, and don't you find yourself sometimes like that, sometimes like that, sometimes there aren't any words, sometimes there's more connection. So we want to ask you, we'll be very brief about this, but as you're moving through your day-to-day experience, and this answer is not always the same answer, we're just asking you from right here and now where you are standing. Are you wanting to be more what humans call grounded, which is of this world and understanding the way energy plays in this world? Or are you wanting to leave your physical grounding and escape or move to the higher energies? You're mixed in it. So here's what we want you to understand about that. You are here in these bodies for a reason, and you cannot be other than grounded because you are here in this physical body where there are things for you to explore. We want you to embrace your what you might want to call groundedness. If you can't take those energies and focus them into something that feels meaningful to you here in this body, you're missing the point of being here in this body. You're not here to prove something. You're not here to fix something. You're not here to undo something. You're not here being tested. You're magnificent creators in the most delicious environment in which to create, because here on this leading edge creative genius that you are, your thoughts turn to things. Your thoughts turn to experiences and to sensations and to the manifestations of emotions. Your thoughts turn to evidence of things. Your thoughts turn to material things, to experiences. You are here on this leading edge because you are a physical being in physical environment who have intended to have physical creations. And all of this conversation about energy can sometimes lead you into a place different than what you intended. In other words, when you calibrate yourself to the vibration of your inner being, you know what your inner being is thinking about? Life on planet Earth. When you calibrate yourself to your inner being, you know what your inner being is thinking about? Things that you've been asking about that are physical in nature that you put into your vortex. Your inner being is thinking about your financial remuneration. Your inner being is thinking about your relationships with your girlfriends and your boyfriends. Your inner being is thinking about your relationships with your children and your employers. Your inner being is thinking about the things that you're inventing and discovering. Your inner being is thinking about your rendezvous. Your inner being, hear this, is thinking about what pleasure you might have in this moment as you allow yourself to rendezvous with the things that you have put into your vortex. So when we talk to you about physical and non-physical inner being and you, when we talk to you about your emotions, when we talk to you about your point of attraction, your true point of attraction, which is where your inner being stands, we do not seek to split you up. We seek to bring you together. But when we bring you together, when you come into vibrational concert with your inner being while you're here in this physical body, do you know what that concert of you and you is focused upon? Life on planet Earth. It's about living with each other and loving each other and acknowledging each other and uplifting each other. It's about seeing the things that make you feel like you want to praise them. It's about happy. It's about evolution. It's about expansion. It's about more. It's about color. It's about brightness. It's about sound. It's about music. In other words, don't let yourself think that all of this conversation that we have, while it's spiritual in nature and vibrational nature, don't let it distract you from the importance of you being here in this physical body. You're supposed to be here in this physical body, and you're supposed to like being here in this physical body. You're supposed to like your physical body. You're supposed to feel honored about being physical in this time and space. And the more you calibrate to who you really are, the more you will know all of these things. The more you will feel it when the owl comes down to drink at your feet and to play with you in that moment, to say to you, I don't usually do this, but I'm happy to play with you in this way.
Howdy.
Yeah.
I look back at the conversations we've had over the years, and I look at the motivations behind a lot of the questions, and I call the beginning, I was an action junkie, and I was really involved in throwing myself into things.
Did you hear our preparation for this conversation with you just now before you came up here? Because we don't want you to be an action junkie, but we want you to be a physical junkie.
Exactly.
We want you to be addicted to your physicality. We want you to want the evidence of your spirituality to show up through your physicality.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And then I took a step back because it didn't go as far as I wanted it to go. So
Well,
I became
you started out with a little bit of a flawed premise because you were talking about the motivation. And motivation is negative stuff driving you forward, where inspiration is who you really are calling you forward. So there was a little understanding curve.
Touche.
Yeah.
And the motivation was to create. The inspiration was to create. And then I became a more deliberate thinker of how I was going to create.
Did you take pleasure from your thoughts?
Absolutely.
So much pleasure from your thoughts that you could almost just bliss out on thinking. But the problem with that is those thoughts are going to turn to things.
They're going to turn to things.
Because you live in a physical world.
And the more that I've discovered and entertained this idea of creation, I've resigned to accepting the contrast.
That's what we were reaching for. That's everything that we were saying just now before you came up here. We want you to resign yourself to the inevitability of your success.
And I've misappropriated the thinking and the action.
You were calibrating. You weren't misappropriating. You were calibrating.
In terms of, I thought I was supposed to be doing step 2.
We know. We know.
And the action was in step 1.
And do you know what words we've found that speak to that in a really easy to integrate and teach way? We've been saying, feel the awesome power of non-resisted thought.
Yes.
Because that's what your inner being feels. Feel the awesome power of non-resisted thought. And then we tweaked it just a little bit. Feel the awesome pleasure of non-resisted thought. Because you are not the one that gathers the power and then throws it over there to make things happen.
So the action and the thought now are this relationship with source and taking the pleasure in being an inspired translator of thought, or being fully within my body as I run or take part in activity, instead of using those to manually manipulate reality to think I need to construct it myself.
See, that's the difference that Esther discovered too. It's the difference between seeing herself as getting out into the next segment and making it be the way she needs it to be in order for it to be the way she wants it to be, and accomplishing the vibrational shift in herself and the law of attraction, then bringing to that shifted self those things.
Absolutely.
She likes the picture of Wizard of Oz, and you remember the good witch that came in a bubble? Mm-hmm. So Esther likes that picture of herself in that bubble. She's wearing a different dress.
I would be too.
And moving out into the world is that powerful point of attraction. Yeah. Do you know you've got it? Do you know that you've got it? Yeah.
And in it, I have a vision for self. I am a powerful attractor of clarity, a facilitator.
Every word you're
clarity.
saying is so on point. Every word you're saying is so on point.
My life is going really well. And as I still have that vision, a question is, I'm deliberating between how I focus and calibrate in that step 3, step 4, step 5 space of, do I focus on the integrity and the feeling of the vision that I have?
If it feels really good.
I can go into specifics deeply on that.
Go into as many specifics as you can go into while it really feels good, because the feeling good is the operative word. And if you go too far, it won't feel so good, so then back off. Because if you go too far, you're introducing resistance by specifics that you haven't worked the bugs out of yet.
And I can feel that.
Yeah.
And it's like being the observer, like the role that I have now, that I understand that step 1 created it, is to feel be the observer of self as I move in the world and feel the wobbles and ask myself, am I willing to clean that up or just go in a different direction?
And even enjoy the wobble a little bit.
Absolutely.
Which leads us to something that you already know, but it's a nice way to punctuate this closing today, which you have done magnificently. We don't need to add anything more to it. Step one is life causes you to ask for more. So you didn't have to do that, did you? That was pre-paved before you even got into this physical body. You said, I'll go into an environment that will elicit from me personal decisions that are unique to me. Can't stop that from happening. It's just happening. And then step two happened, not your work, as you came to understand fully. Step two is source and the law of attraction responded to your vibrational requests and began gathering and have gathered the cooperative components. And then step three, that's when you get a little actualized and a little deliberate. That's when you care about how you feel and you begin contouring your thoughts deliberately, as we've talked about all day here, to what feels best. And then step four happens, which is just the natural inclination to do that always. You're just such a master at that. You're just so hooked on feeling good and so trusting of the process that your angst is gone and your eagerness is dominant. And so now you're just reaching for good feeling thoughts, and they come so easily that you've mastered it. You've mastered step three, which is what step four is. And then our favorite of all, now you are in your mastery, exploring the world and discovering things that you don't want. And they're not bothering you one bit, because in your knowledge and mastery, you know you need not choose one thing that you do not want. You understand the power of your focus. And so if there's something that you don't want and you know it because it feels bad when you focus upon it, you look briefly and then you divert your eyes and your attention to something that feels better. So in step five, you're in control of your vibration, embracing variety, liking choices from the buffet, but wise enough to know that you need not linger someplace you don't want to be. And if you don't, there will be no vibrational attachment on your part. Step five is such a delicious place to be.
I love step five. Would it be fair to say that step three is more conditional than the unconditional step five? Like step three can be triggered to step one, and step five is unconditional.
Yeah, and why is that?
Because it has
step
momentum.
Four was in there.
Yeah.
Step three, you're learning your way, like learning to ride the bicycle. You watch some child learning to walk and he falls down. You don't say, get up, you little dummy. You know that he's going to find his balance, and you will find balance in step three if you get hooked on the feeling of feeling good. If you care about feeling good, then step four will become your mastery of step three. And so you're absolutely correct. Step three has more likely resistance in it than step four, because step four, you've practiced it more. And once you are truly a master of how you feel, we don't mean always feeling good. We don't mean having only positive emotion. We mean having awareness of when you're aligned and awareness of when you're not, and at least choosing it. In other words, just doing it on purpose, being deliberate about it. Sometimes you just feel good being bad. Sometimes it feels good to push it a little bit just to make sure that the universe hasn't lost its grip on the law of attraction. Sometimes it's satisfying to see things turn out just the way you knew they would, even if you didn't want them to turn out that way. Yep, just testing you, just making sure that the universe is still operating the way I know it to be, and that it's responding to my vibration. But as you come into this alignment, as you are demonstrating through your alignment, that's the way life is supposed to be. There is nothing that you cannot be or do or have, and this life will just keep pointing out to you, and you will never reach the place where you have beat it or doed it or haved it all. There will always be something more that you are reaching for. That's the promise of your eternal life experience. We've enjoyed this conversation today more than any that has come before. There is so much love here for you, and eagerness about the tactile manifestations that are coming your way. Savor them, enjoy them, devour them, be proud of them, show off in your manifestations, and let others know that you are a deliberate creator and that the universe is at your command.